Yeah, just a bit quieter. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you all so much for coming for our first anniversary. It means a lot to us, and particularly on such a lovely day, and with so many other events. I'd like to say a quick thanks, please, to the O'Riordan family, who, without their support, we would not be able to wash our faces. The second thing is that in the year that we're here, which doesn't feel like a year at all, Rathmines has just been amazing. And when I say Rathmines, I mean the environment as well, in bringing us in and making us feel very welcome and encouraging, and for that support is just means so much to us. And in fact, the local businesses have, been supportive, and a birthday cake was made by the Natural Bakery, and I think that I by the Natural Bakery across the road. So just to give you an example of the sort of support that we have been getting, and we've made some great friends, and I do really appreciate that. Robert and I both appreciate it. And of course, those of you who have bought, last but not least, thank you, because it means that we can go on and have our second anniversary, and third, perhaps, and stay, which is, we absolutely adore Rathmines, and the year has really, really gone very fast. I really think that rather than sort of whittling on, I'm going to introduce our guest speaker as if he needs one. I don't think he does. Our guest speaker tonight is known internationally and nationally. Really, to go through his machinations really are way too long. If he's not in Africa or Poland, he's to be seen, as he was last weekend, in Stoneybatter, cleaning up the streets of Stoneybatter. So I'm not sure if that's encouraging employment if you're going to be doing that. He also has a weekly vigil in the Mater Hospital between 1 and 2, just to highlight the problems there. So really all I can say is to introduce you to Robert and I, to introduce a fellow alumnus from UCD, Mr. Joe Costello T.D.
Thank you very much, Deirdre. Thank you, Robert. And I want to thank you for the invitation to come along here tonight. Deirdre finished with a note saying that she wouldn't be withering on any longer. I thought the corollary of that then was that I would take up and start withering on after that. It is a pleasure to be here, because this was my old stamping grounds around here, not this particular building in the old days, going to UCD and all of that. And now I'm deposited on the north side, representing the constituency on the north side. And I suppose it's an area that we're not as well noted for art as the south side. But nevertheless, we're getting the cultural quarter up in Parnell Square at the present time. I'm following in the footsteps of Mary Friel, who launched the Open Window Gallery last year, and of course Mary is an illustrious city councillor, Lord Mayor of Dublin, an art connoisseur. So from that point of view, it's tough coming from the north side and coming from an area that the south side regards as being more in tune with artifice than art. But of course that is a north side, that is a south side lie. I also come from a profession which isn't that related to art, or is not seen as being terribly cultured, and that is politics. Though we are opening the houses of the Oireachtas on Culture Night, and there's a whole series of sessions going on all evening, so if you can get a ticket for that, it will be worthwhile. And my claim to fame is very little in terms of art, except that I love it, and I think what we have here is an extraordinarily bright, vibrant art here, in terms of the paintings, in terms of the ceramics, and that it's open to the world. And I love that, both those attitudes. the window opening out, but also opening in, and people coming and going and browsing and seeing a north that is not stagnant, that is not cold, that is not opulent, but that is open and open to people. I was asked some time ago, 2011, by the present President, Michael D. Higgins, to help him out in his election in 2011. This is my little context, my immediate contact with some design work. And I took up the job with some trepidation, because he's a man that doesn't tolerate anything other than success, and can be very critical. But we started, put together a team in 2011, in the summer of 2011, for the presidential election, and began to design leaflets and to write the literature, the wording. But of course, a man who was a poet himself, that was constantly interfering with anything that went into the literature, and also wanted to design it too. So we got that done eventually and put a series of leaflets together. And then it came to the next stage, which was the poster. So we had to design a poster. And how are we going to design this poster? We looked at Michael D. as the supreme candidate in the race, statesman, man who had been through it all. He was a human rights activist, Minister for Arts, Heritage and the Gaeltacht, and of course he was a poet, and a whole host of other things, head and shoulders above every other candidate. So we wanted to project that. And how would we project? We wanted to project him as a statesman, as presidential. So we got some very fancy footwork in terms of photography, that's not a mixed metaphor, and managed to get a fine picture of Michael D. holding his glasses, if anybody remembers it now, and with a distant look, looking out there at the world, but also a kindly and a humble look in it. So we managed to combine the impossible. It looked great. So the next step was, what was the slogan going to be? And that was a tough one. How are we going to get the message across? So we threw around ideas like the president who will do us proud, the president who will make us proud, that president who will make us proud, that president who will do us proud. So I had to make the final choice. So we came up with it, because this was protecting the statesman. This was, this is the man that was fitted into the job because he had all the qualifications. So eventually decided we'd go with the president who will do us proud. So having decided on that, I went home that night and then wrote it out, and thought that, God, if some smart aleck graffiti artist was to climb the pole and cross out the last word, then it will become the president who will do it. So that's how we produced the poster that was put up all over the country for Michael D. for the election. That was the design work. That's the nearest to artistry that I have achieved, other than being creative as a politician and trying to avoid awkward questions.
The master in itself.
Which is quite an art in itself, it is indeed. But I'm delighted that Deirdre and Robert have asked me to come along just to say a few words to mark the anniversary. It's the first anniversary. Remember what they did? They decided to open an art gallery in the middle of a recession. Not many people brave enough to do that. Might talk about it, but will you do it? They certainly deserve it. Of course, as James Larkin, or as Sean Casey said about James Larkin, he was the sort of man that would put a rose in a vase and he would put a loaf on a table. So the two come together, and you'd be glad to know that under the CSO figures today, it showed that we're well on the way to recovery, with 6.7% growth in their economy year on year. It's almost like a Chinese, it's like one of the Chinese GDP rates. So, and 57,000 more people employed over the year. Now, this is not a pitch for the government, I can assure you. It's a pitch for Deirdre and Robert that in the future, all the fears of opening up during the recession should now be just fade away. And there's great opportunity for them moving forward, because it's not by bread alone, of course, that you have to sell the goods as well as to produce the paintings. But it is the quality of the paintings, the quality of the ceramic work, the sculpture that is there is absolutely fabulous. It is the type of gallery that I like going into. You know, you can walk into the National Gallery, but it's quite closed, it's quite surrounded, it's away from the thoroughfare, and this is totally different. This is open, and it's open to people, and it's open to ideas, and you can see those reflected in the wonderful work that we have here before us. So I want to give you a plug, and that is, buy it. You can put your hand into your pocket and you can buy something for €20, or you can take out your checkbook and buy it for a little more. But purchase it, and that would be the best and the finest tribute to two fine people who started off with a very fine cultural gallery here, an institution here, at a time when nobody else would dream of doing it. Congratulations.
Thank you.